What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 22nd day of June. Here we are with about 7 hours and 8 minutes left in the day, down 13% on the day. Things are picking up to the downside here, you guys. Let's look at this with Bybit. Not a whole lot of volume. Granted, today, we got 7 hours left in the day, and this is the most volume we've seen since Tuesday on the 17th of June. There, it is the most volume we've seen, and it is the weekend. Kind of interesting that we're getting more volume than we've had over the past 4 days, but still not a whole lot of volume. At least I don't think so. Let's see. What does CoinMarketCap say? ZBCN. That's more than 10%. I guess that is good volume then, yeah, to support this move down. So definitely looking like it wants to go lower. I had thoughts yesterday that perhaps you could find support there. The only reason why, right, is that you had prior areas, your all-time highs were right here, and you did find a little bit of support right there, but it did not sustain. Here we are below, and we're going down to that ultimate target area, you guys. And of course, clearly, I was saying that we could bounce here, but I was still saying that I very much believe that we were going down to 0029. Low to high, 0029 awaits. It's inevitable at this point. I just hated this thing so much that I caused it to go down because of my TA hate that I'm throwing at it. No, it's the TA, guys. The TA called it called it weeks ago, right? And we're almost there. We're almost there right now. Retrospectively, maybe I should have been more bearish on the rest of the markets too with everything that's going on. But looking at this here, the 382, that's probably where you're going to go, man. 0029. 00294, something around there, right? Maybe even a little bit lower than that. It's very common. Do not be scared, okay? If you see the price do this, where you get below the 382, don't be scared because it's very common to wick below it and then you come back up above it. You could even go a little bit lower than that. Maybe go all the way down to 0025. It's not a big deal, okay? It's a big deal if we close below the 382. And even then, there's still hope. Like if you close one day below the 382, but then the next day you get above there, you're okay, right? There's a series of events that needs to happen before we consider lower prices than just this 0029 area. Okay, let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll zoom back out. We'll see if we can agree if we get some inclinations that we are going lower here. So looking at this, volume's picking up as you're moving down. To be fair, I mean, you had some volume picking up here and you made some more moves. Here, the volume's picking up a little bit more and you're not making as big of strides, so you might see a little bit of a bounce here. Looking at the 1 hour RSI, we do have bullish divergence, so that agrees with the idea of a little bit of a bounce. We might be getting that now. Perhaps what we do is we go up to about 0035, 0034, something around this area. Prior support, prior all-time high resistance. Find resistance there, and then check back, right? Lower highs, the whole thing. Makes sense to me, man. Makes sense to me. We'll probably get a wick that goes up here, and then we'll close. Perhaps we'll close our 1 hour candle below this 1 hour candle close right here, this green one right there, giving us higher highs in the RSI but lower highs in the price, hidden bearish divergence to mark that we are in fact going lower. So a little bit higher right now is what I would think, is what I would expect. 15-minute time frame. Speaking of which, you got higher highs here in the RSI and lower highs here in the price. That is hidden bearish divergence. You can see that as you're moving up here, there's really no volume coming in. The volume is coming into the downside, right? Backing up the downside move here. 4 hour RSI just got into the oversold zone. I don't anticipate that you get in and then you get out of the oversold zone. I would expect that you probably push lower, right? This is not the end, but you're very, very near the end. You're almost there. If we look at this from a relative low to the relative high, the most discernible low to high that we just had here, low to high, right below the 1414. Again, you might move up a little bit, but I'm not expecting anything too dramatic. Even if you go, let's say you go all the way back up to 0038, you're still going to go lower. Okay, don't get too excited. It's very common, actually, to go from this exact area, if you find support, to go to this area, find resistance, even a little bit higher, 00397, this area here, and then come back down and go lower. Complete the thought down at 003, probably 0029, or even 0027, 00266, something in that area there. This kind of zone. That's what I expect us to do. And I think this will happen between now and Tuesday. I think maybe on Monday specifically, maybe tomorrow, this will happen, and then Tuesday we'll have found our low and we will begin to recover. When you find your low, that doesn't mean, right, we get down here. I do expect a nice recovery to happen, but that doesn't mean we're going through the roof. Probably what's going to happen is you'll come down, you'll find your low tomorrow, Monday, and then if not early Tuesday, and then you'll have a nice recovery, a nice bounce. You'll probably go right up to prior areas of support to find resistance. You will find resistance. You'll find a higher low, and you'll probably consolidate, continue to run up, right, and just mess around in these prior areas that you found significance at before. It's not just going to be a straight shot up like it was last time, right? You're going to consolidate and make methodical movements as you're coming through, and then inevitably, whenever you get back to your all-time high area, that's when it'll be a glorious time to move up. And it'll probably be, after the first week of July or so. I think that sounds about right. After the first week of July, you should be moving up. Let's look at this real quick. If not, maybe even later than that. It could be later than that, and that's fine if you do. If we look at this from a high to, let's say, the 7th, how many days is that? 38 days. It's a month. That's a month of consolidating. Yeah, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect, right? It's been a month since you've seen new all-time highs. After a 10x move like that, you'll have dropped over 60%, right, from a high to a low. No, maybe not. 55. Yeah, maybe 60% or so. Yeah, that's about an average drop on the lower end of average, right? Or the higher end of average, I guess, for the drop, whatever. And then about a month's time of correction, after about a month's time of running, you should be ready to go. Yeah, I very much do expect that ZBCN will continue to run. People have been asking if I would buy ZBCN. I might, man. I honestly might. I think that I don't have, it's not available on any exchanges that I have access to, right? Or I mean, I could if I used a VPN, but KuCoin, I actually do have a KuCoin account. MEXC, Femex, all these. I probably just have to swap it. Right? OKX. Crypto.com, actually. No, you can buy it on Crypto.com. Okay, so if you're in America, you can use Crypto.com. You can use CRO. Good old-fashioned CRO. So yeah, maybe I will. I do have a Crypto.com account too, so maybe I will... by the way, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I don't care what your favorite exchange is. You should, if you can, you should have access to as many exchanges as possible, because you never know whenever that could come in handy. Like right now. Crypto.com. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would definitely consider buying down there, because what you have after a bounce at about 0029 to your all-time high, that's 146% growth, and I don't think that we're going to stop there. I think that we're going to grow a lot more, right? We're going to see a lot more. Inevitably, this thing's going to get to like 2 cents, 4 cents, maybe 5 cents at the highest. You got a 10x move coming your way. At the very, very least, I would expect something on the lines of like a 6x move from that low point there, but we'll see. And just a little bit lower. Again, don't expect fireworks to start flying as soon as we find the low tomorrow or the next day. I would expect some turbulence. It's going to be very tradable, going up and down and all around. And inevitably, we will break out as we get closer to this range. As you start getting above about half a cent there, 0056, that's whenever it's time to stop trading. That's when it's time to load up the truck or get left behind, because at any moment, once you're in this area again, once you move up to this area, at any moment you could just lift off and really see some nice recovery from here. And of course, if I'm wrong, the only way that I would think that I'm wrong, and I could be wrong in so many ways, you guys, but the only way that I would think that I'm wrong, the most likely way that I would be wrong, is that you find your low and you actually do get some kind of miraculous bounce immediately. And that could happen. That could happen, but that's not what I'm expecting. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.